Jamaica, you ready? Raise your fist and shout out power. Raise your voice and say it louder. Rock your body if you love Jamaica. Rock your body if you really love Jesus. Come red, make we cross over. Come red, make we cross over. My soul, shout out for power. My soul, shout out for power. My soul, shout out for power. When we cross over. Come red, make we cross over. Come red, make we cross over. My soul, shout out for power. My soul, shout out for power. My soul, shout out for power. When we cross over.
Hi, hello everybody. Boy, I like this. I like this. I'm freezing up. And don't tell me that, you know. Because I just get my new phone. The live freezing. Lord of mercy. It start up the foolishness already. Oh my God. It's freezing already. Boy, imagine me get my new phone and may try a thing. Y'all hearing me? Alright, don't move a muscle. Don't move a muscle. Are you hearing me? Anybody hearing me? Good evening Patel, how you do? Over there on, is it any better? TikTok? When you hearing me? Anybody hearing me? Alright, when you hearing me now, it come back in. Alright, I was just checking my audio. Okay, good, very good. Alright, I buy one new phone. And so, yeah. So, now stay with me there. I bought a new phone. I may try. So, we soon bring in Comrade ALOUN. I'm hoping that this works out with the phone. God knows, because I'm tired of problems now. I'm tired of issues. In the meantime, please, know the drill. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Tap up the screen on TikTok. Make we get this thing up and running. Let us get this thing up and running. So may I give you a few minutes to organize yourself. The live ain't freezing anymore. It's okay now. TikTok, talk to me. Welcome to Sean and Patel over on YouTube so far. May I share up the live feed now. So I just come in because we have an exciting night ahead of us. You understand? Alright, I am just sending out a blast. How you do? How you day been so far? I see a lot of drama going on all over the place. I see whole heap of going. How you do? How is everybody? Come in, tap up the screen, share up the live for me. You know the drill. Me have a problem now. Me have a problem. I made a boo-boo. I made a big boo-boo. I just realized, say, alright. I need to find a way to get the YouTube link. But remember that I'm not only live on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube as well. So I don't know, somebody grab the YouTube link for me and post it so that I can share it, because me just remember say the phone will ever freeze, me delete YouTube from it. Anyway, I got some instructions from my friend Dre about putting in sticker, right? Putting in the 21 and over sticker. So I'm gonna do that now, and then we can start. May I learn? That's it. So nobody can see it's not there. All right. You see, I'm learning. I'm learning. All right. So everybody good. All right. So before we bring on Comrade Assamba, which is not very far from now, we have a few issues to talk about quickly. We're going to talk about a few issues. So let me show you my face. Hi YouTube. Let me show you my face over here. So what is something for rotate it again? If I flip his screen. Lord God. Whoa, oh, me flip back this something. Flip camera. You see, when you have new phone and you don't know how it works, I have a new phone and I don't know how it works, so no bear with me. Like that. Ah, hi, see me here. All right, so everybody up and running. So quickly now, we have a few things to discuss. Me see Tufton I make up whole heap of nice. I see Tufton, I need to put up this phone somewhere. Alright, and you can see me now? Ah, yes man. The beauty of a new phone. Yes, so I see Tufton making up a lot of noise. And I just want to run through a few things before I bring over Comrade ALOUN, because I see him making up a lot of noise. You know, this is one of the things that I see him talking about now. I see him saying that he rejects the claim of $21 billion spent on Cornwall Regional. But let me ask you something. Not often did say that. Me confused here. Because as far as I'm concerned, I remember reading an article where Tufton himself said that. So how is he now saying something totally different? Me lost. I am totally lost and I am confused. I'm needing a help to figure it out. Let me try and bring up the Zoom now for Comrade ALOUN. I'm just going to put her in the Zoom and wait, because I want to make sure so when she come on, we don't have no issues. But you know, in February, it was in February that Tufton actually said, there was an article in the Gleaner, and I'm going to read that article in the Gleaner shortly. As soon as I bring up this Zoom thing, I'm gonna do that. Because me know my head no bad. Wanna go and tap up the screen, share up the live for me. Tap up the screen and share up the live in the meantime. Remember now, we're gonna have Comrade ALOUN ASSAMBA, and she's a former High Commissioner to the UK. She's also a former MP of Southeast St. Anne, my apologies, and she's also the former tourism minister from during the PJ Patterson time. Comrade ASSAMBA, you're there, you hearing me? You seem to be muted. Remember to check your mute if you are muted or unmuted. I'm seeing you. Are you hearing me? I don't think she's hearing me. Check your volume. Check your volume. She'll be on soon. Check your volume. You hearing me? Not hearing her at all. I'm not hearing you. Check and see if you are on mute. She is connecting to audio. Okay. You hear? I'm hearing you now. You just connect to your audio.
Could be.
Yes, I see that. Good night, Comrade ALOUN. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Do you need the video? How do I get?
No, man, you can. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you if you want to share your video or not. You know, they can hear you. That's what we want to ensure, that everybody can hear you. So if you want to share, it's entirely up to you. All right, how are you doing? How is your night so far?
So far, what's going on here now?
I'm not seeing you as yet.
To speak.
Pardon me? Sure. We're hearing you clearly. We're just not seeing you, which is really neither here nor there. If you don't want to...
If you're hearing me,
yeah, man, that is fine. That is fine. I'm sure everybody is hearing you.
That's fine. Okay.
Right. Everybody on TikTok
there is some reason why.
I'm just checking with the viewers over by TikTok. Yeah. We're streaming both on YouTube and TikTok simultaneously. So I'm just checking if everybody is hearing. The volume won't turn up on her device. I think the volume wants to turn up on my device, because the phone
mine
mine is the problem, not yours. Mine is the issue, but I'm gonna fix it. I want something to... All right, let me just put this here. So I'm trying to find somewhere to put this so that they can hear you. So I'm about to start. All right, in the meantime, Comrade ALOUN, welcome to our live chat on TikTok and YouTube. We call our little space Politics Church. And this is
Thanks for having me.
Yes, you are welcome. This is where we discuss the issues. You know, this is where we discuss the issues, and we have a lot of people listening and viewing on both platforms. So far we have over 100 on TikTok, and not much on YouTube yet, but I haven't been able to share the YouTube link. All right, so for the listeners, I want you to briefly tell me now, because we're here to talk about the 90s predominantly. There is this narrative that the JLP keeps pushing, that the 90s were the lost years, that nothing good came out of the 90s. And we are here. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I got into the politics in a very public way where after we won the elections in
98.
I was named a senator.
Right.
Yeah. I was named a senator. And I recall when I was named a senator, there are lots of people who said they didn't know that I was involved in politics. Well, the thing is, I was, but behind the scenes.
Right.
So that people knew me, and I was able to do a lot of work behind the scenes. And when Prime Minister P.J. Patterson called me, he said that was the year when he named 2 independent senators, if you will recall.
I remember that, yeah.
Douglas Orrin and Trevor Monroe.
Right.
And he called me and he said to me, I am naming 2 independent senators, but I want you to know that you are not one of them. you are a PNP senator.
Oh, and put your
And I said yes.
Right
Very squarely where I was. He also said it is about time you come out of the closet.
Oh, so you were a closet comrade all along.
No, I think it was, everybody knew where my political alignment was, but I don't think they understood the level and depth of what I was doing.
Okay.
Because I was not a member. I was not a member of, at the time, the PNPYO. The Patriots did not exist.
Right.
And I had been living here in St. Anne, in Southeast St. Anne. I grew up out here, so I know PNP politics from when Dr. Ivan Lloyd was the MP and when Seymour Mullins was MP.
Okay.
My father campaigned for both of them. And then I came back out here to live and got involved in the constituency. I remember when Seymour was going to be nominated for his last term as Member of Parliament in that elections. I walked down Main Street, Ocho-Rios with Seymour. I remember exactly what I had on that day, because I was involved in the constituency with Seymour.
Oh, so you were at that time you were definitely active.
I was active, but I never imagined that I was going to be Member of Parliament. Never. It didn't come across my brain that that was something that I was going to be. And they spent a lot of time trying to convince me that I should take over from Seymour. I remember we had an NEC out in St. Thomas one Sunday, and Prime Minister said to me, I need you to come and see me after cabinet tomorrow. And I knew what it was about, and I said, okay. So I went to see him, and he said to me, you have to make up your mind now. You have to make up your mind. And I told him, yes, I would do it, because by then I had been discussing it with the people who were very close to me.
Okay.
And he called Seymour.
Give me a minute, Comrade ALOUN. 1 second, Comrade ALOUN. I see they said they're not hearing. You're not hearing me? It's freezing again. Give me 1 minute. Them saying it not. They're not hearing. Let me know when it is back up and running. Just give me a minute, comrade. It's back. Let me know if it is back. Let me know. I'm just checking to see what's going on. They said that it's freezing. Boy, I make sure to buy a thing there today. I make sure to buy listen, you know why I keep freezing? You know why I keep freezing? You're not giving me enough likes. You all need to give me a lot of likes so that it can stop freezing. I'm just checking this. Up and running. Yeah, it is back up and running. All right, let's continue. All right. Welcome back, everybody.
Yes.
When you're hearing me now, good. Welcome back. All right, I see that it's a little delayed, but we're gonna continue the conversation with Comrade ASSAMBA. All right, Comrade ASSAMBA, let's continue. So you were saying that.
So I'm saying that I went to see Prime Minister Patterson after cabinet the Monday.
Mm-hmm.
This was in the new cabinet building, and Seymour Mullins, who was the deputy Prime Minister at the time, was in the old Jamaica House building, the old office building.
Mm-hmm.
And he called Seymour and said, I'm sending ALOUN over to see you. So I went, and when I got there, Seymour jumped up and hugged me up and said, you finally said yes. And I said, yes, I did. he immediately called a couple of people, and I recall everybody he called, he said, "Do you know who is in my office?" And when he told them that I was there, they immediately, every single one of them who he called said, "Did she say yes?" Which tells me that the constituency, people like Jack Wilmot, Mrs. McDowell, you know, those people who were the stalwarts in some time had been talking about it. So that is how I got into representational politics. And then we had the elections, which we won. And for about a week, I had no job, because you must realize that I had to give up my job at COK when PJ named me Minister of State. I had to give up my job at COK. And then when election comes,
which
everybody
ministry were you in at that time?
I was in the Minister of Industry, Science, Technology. Philip Paulwell was the minister, and I was Minister of State.
Okay. Interesting.
And so we all had no job once the nomination day was called.
Right.
Until after, when the Prime Minister was sworn in, he then set his cabinet. So there was a time when I had no job other than the job as being an MP.
Right.
You can imagine how anxious I was. I didn't know that I was going to be named a minister. And I honestly had not looked beyond winning the seat.
Right.
Finally, I got a call to say I was to come to Jamaica House. I was getting my nails done because I had to do something. And I responded to him and said, "I'm not dressed to come to Jamaica House." He says, "You're on the road, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." He says, "Whatever you have on, you can come up here." So I went, and he said to me, "I am going to name you Minister of Industry and Tourism."
Okay.
Now, I wasn't fazed by the industry side of it, because I had worked with the Jamaica Industrial Development Corporation in the 1980s when Prime Minister Siaga was Prime Minister, and I had two ministers, Douglas Vaz, and for a very short time after Mr. Vaz and Mr. Siaga fell out, he appointed Hugh Taylor as the minister. So I had worked with those two ministers, and I must say that working with Minister Vaz was a wonderful experience.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yes, it was. He took advice. I remember JIDC.
And this is Vaz, just so that everybody understand. This is the father of Daryl Vaz. Just for the father of Daryl Vaz. Right, just for the listeners to understand. Douglas Vaz.
Yes. So I was legal advisor and corporate secretary of the JIDC, which was the what would you call it now? The government agency that was responsible for the development of industry.
Yeah. That
was an organization that had been put in place by and it was set up by an act of parliament. Robert Lightburn put that in place. You know what is funny? When I was in sixth form, I did a project on the development of industry in Jamaica. And I learned, I had to do the research on the development of the JIDC and the work of Robert Lightburn. So I wasn't fazed by Prime Minister Patterson.
And Robert Lightburn, I believe, is one of the gentlemen who wrote the national anthem, if I'm not mistaken. Is that it?
Yes. Okay. Yes. This was in the 50s now, eh?
Yeah.
And late 50s, so that it was in place in 62.
Right.
But when he said to him, And he said to me, you will recall that I have been Minister of Industry as well as Minister of Tourism. And I do remember in the 70s. And I said, yes, sir. I thanked him for the appointment. And the next day, so that was the Friday, and the next day was the swearing-in function. And I started work the Monday morning. The first thing I did was to go to cabinet meeting on Monday. And somebody from the Ministry of Tourism brought the cabinet bag to me up there. And I read the papers, waiting on the cabinet meeting to start. And I must tell you, as I said, I was not fazed by the industry side of the portfolio. But all I knew about tourism was going and staying in hotel. But funnily enough, out of high school, when I decided I was not going to university at the time, which is a good thing because I had got into the Faculty of Agriculture. I have a science background.
Okay. And you ended up doing law. Okay.
And I ended up doing law because I went to work as a volunteer at the Kingston Legal Aid Clinic before I went to university. But before I went to the Legal Aid Clinic, I had applied for the Ewan and Pringle Scholarship, which is a tourism scholarship, which was tenable at Ryerson University. When I went to the interview, most of the persons who were there had either been employed in the tourist industry already or who had done at the time, UTEC, which was CAST, had a program called Institutional Management, which is where tourism workers studied. I did not get the scholarship. However, John Issa was one of the interviewers.
Right.
And later on in the week, I got a letter from John Issa offering me a position as a training manager at Tower Isle Hotel. It was the letter came the same day I had agreed to go to the Legal Aid Clinic. I had met with Ronnie Thwaites that day, and I had agreed to go to Legal Aid Clinic in 2 weeks' time. So I had to write back John Issa and say, thank you very much, but I am not able to accept the offer.
Right.
Fast to my becoming Minister of Tourism in December 2002. Butch Stewart invited all the tourism movers and shakers. In those days, most of the persons who were involved in tourism, meaning hoteliers, people who ran the attractions, people who were in the rent-a-car and the destination marketing companies, they were all Jamaicans, owned by Jamaicans.
Right.
So we went to this luncheon, which was held at the ATL office on Halfway Tree Road. And I am there meeting, I knew some of them socially before, but I'm meeting them now in their capacity as tourism movers and shakers. And John Issa gets up to say, and he said, to speak, and he said, you see this girl? Could call her girl, because he went to school with my father.
Oh, so he's a big man for you.
Yes, he said, you see this girl? I thought nothing of it. I mean, you know, really. I once offered her a job, and she turned me down. And look at her now. She is the Minister of Tourism. Of course, everybody in the room cracked up. It was very funny. So I became Minister of Tourism in December 2002. And I'm going to honestly say this, because I talk about it all the time. You start a new job, you don't know all of the details, what it's going to entail. I felt like I was swimming underwater.
I understand.
It was water. It was glycerin.
So this was in the early 2000s?
Yes, 2002, December 2002.
December 2002. So this was, of course, the tail end of the 18 years of straight PNP governance.
This would have been the 14th year.
The 14th year, right.
Yes.
But you know...
Now, I want to say something, because we're going to focus on tourism.
Right.
The development that you see taking place now is as a result of the work that was done during that period.
Definitely.
And you have to all remember, people used to jokingly, but also with some amount of malice, call Minister the late Paul Robertson
Yes.
pipeline. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
But it was during that period when Paul was the Minister of Investment and Promotions, in the period leading up to 2002, when Paul was the minister, that the groundwork, the back-breaking negotiations to get all these hoteliers to look at Jamaica.
Right.
That's where that work was done.
So the groundwork for what we are reaping now, especially with the Spanish hotels.
Yes, it is Paul Robertson, when he was the minister.
I hope you're listening, viewers, subscribers. I hope you're listening to what Comrade ASSAMBA is saying. She's saying that the great Comrade Paul Robertson did the groundwork for all the achievements that we're seeing today. And this would have been in the 90s going into the 2000s.
Yes, definitely. And in those days, when people asked Minister Robertson about whatever he was doing, he would say it is in the pipeline. And therefore they started calling him the pipeline minister. But you need to understand that this kind of development is not something that you just snap your finger and it comes.
Indeed.
The first group that came to Jamaica was the Rio group.
Yes.
And I remember when I went to open Rio in the Grill, Mr. Patterson and I went to open Rio in the Grill. I remember saying, because you made this comment about the Spanish coming, I remember in my speech I said, the Spanish are upon us again, but this time they are bringing their own money.
I remember distinctly also that the labor rights used to complain bitterly that we are inviting the Spanish to take over the country.
Yes. Oh, that's what I'm going to speak about that later on.
All right.
About the complaining. So the Rio family came, they looked. Jampro was very involved in showing them properties that they could consider. And they built Negril Rio, they built Montego Bay Rio, they built Otrius Rio. And we opened those during the period when I was minister.
Okay.
Because that Spanish family came to Jamaica, other Spanish families started looking at Jamaica. And the family that built Grand Bahia Principe bought that land at Pear Tree Bottom,
right,
outside of Runaway Bay, and built, at the time, it must have been the largest hotel, the Grand Bahia Principe. In addition to that, the hotel, which is now Moon Palace Hotel,
yes,
which was
Jamaica
Americana.
Grand. Was that Jamaica Grand at one point?
Yes, it was the Marriott and it was
Americana Hotel, I remember that. Right in the middle of Otrius.
They joined it together and became Jamaica Grand.
Yeah.
It was during that time too. Now some of this work began when Portia Simpson Miller was Minister of Tourism. And I took over from her. So it's important to understand how long it takes for this kind of development to take place. Getting a hotel out of the ground and up and running is not easy. I met up with a friend of mine who works in the industry in HR last week, and she is working with that hotel, the Princess Hotel,
okay,
which is going to be opened out beyond Lucy on the way to Negril. Princess.
That's the one that they're having issue now with the water.
Well, they're having issues with all of the water, all of the hotels in that.
But I know that one is the one that Minister Samuda.
They're making, yes, they're making some statements about that, about the water. But that's another issue to be dealt with. Eh?
Okay.
But what I want to make this point, that when I was Minister of Tourism, before any development took place, we had to do a study which was called the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity, which means that before a hotel was put, or before new rooms were built onto hotels, we had to ensure that the amount of water which was needed is going to be there, the amount of sewage was going to be there. All of those facilities would have to have been put in so that you could say that that particular location could carry the development that was taking place. We did carry capacity studies to ensure that when these hotels go in, that the services that they would need for smooth and proper running would have been done.
So you think that is where they're falling down now, that they're not doing these carrying capacity studies?
I don't know if I can say that that is where they're falling down now, but I can say that if the proper carrying capacity study was done, they would have known about the problems when there is not enough rainfall to give water. Or they would have made arrangements because there are rivers in and around the areas. There is the rivers in Westmoreland.
Yeah.
We have been hearing about. There is the Great River on the border of Trelawney and
Hanover.
Of St. James and Hanover. So there is enough water running into the sea that had we planned properly, we could have been able to avert the challenges that we are now facing. But that is another story. I want to also talk about renovations of hotels that took place during the time when I was minister. I remember the general manager of the Half Moon Hotel, when they were celebrating their 50th anniversary, he made a statement that the Minister of Tourism had come and asked, were they not going to be refreshing their property?
Okay.
And he put it in the context that said, as a result of that, they planned and executed the construction of a number of new buildings to augment what they already had at Half Moon. So when you go into Half Moon and you pass the entrance and the check-in area and you go down to the right, you will see all of those, including swimming pools, etc., which were built during the time when I was Minister of Tourism. But it's important, two things I want to say out of this is the negotiations that took place to get these hotels up and running. And the second thing is the carrying capacity, which always has to be done to ensure that the needs we would be able to fulfill those needs.
So in terms of the number of rooms that were there, you have any idea of how many rooms you had added to the tourism sector? How many hotel rooms while you were minister?
I am very sorry, I don't have that. But
it's a long time ago. We're talking about over 20 years. So.
Yes. It would have been close to, remember, just before I became minister, the Ritz-Carlton was built.
Right.
This was when Portia was Minister of Tourism. I'm sorry, I don't have that off the top of my head.
Okay, but you would have overseen the development of quite a few hotels.
Yes. Also, it was during that time, you will recall, in those 18 years, that the Falmouth Cruise.
Right.
Cruise.
The Falmouth Cruise Pier. Mm-hmm.
Cruise Pier was built, and that the Oterias Cruise Pier was expanded so that it would allow us to have, at least in Oterias, we could have 3 ships, because we started to use the Reynolds Pier when the Otrius cruise pier had 2 ships already. So I must tell you that for me, it was heartwarming to drive down out of Fern Gully down towards Otrius and see 3 cruise ships in the harbor at the same time. Also recall that during those years, the cruise terminal in Port Antonio was built.
Yes.
Which would take smaller vessels and more private vessels, yachts and so on. So that was done during that time. And I haven't spoken about the tourism master plan, which is an excellent plan, which has been shelved, it seems, and I'll be the first to say that it needs to be updated. But this master plan was done for us from the days when John Juna was Minister of Tourism. And the first, I would call it the first draft, was delivered to us when Portia Simpson Miller was the Minister of Tourism. Portia sent it back to the Commonwealth Secretariat because this work was done by the Commonwealth on behalf of Jamaica, because she felt that enough focus had not been put on community tourism and the role that community tourism had to play in the product that we were presenting to the world.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Comrade Assamba. I see you viewers on TikTok complaining about the background. I hope this is better and you can actually read the comments now, because you were saying that you're not seeing the comments properly. So give me some feedback. I changed the background. All right, Comrade Assamba, you can continue.
Yes, I was saying that Portia Simpson Miller, as Minister of Tourism, recognized the role of community tourism in the product that we had to market to the world.
Now, and she was your immediate predecessor?
She was my immediate predecessor.
And that's when she went to Labor, Welfare and Sports?
Yes.
Okay.
So she went to Labor, Welfare and Sport, and I took over tourism, which at the time was put with Industry and Commerce. I'm saying it to say her recognition of the role of 2 things: the role of communities in the tourism product, but also the role of the culture in the tourism product was crucial. So when she became Prime Minister, she called me and she said, I am going to leave tourism with you, but I am twinning it with entertainment and culture, because they go very well together.
So this was when it was first done?
Yes.
That was Portia's brainchild?
It was Portia's brainchild.
Is your life funny?
Yes.
They have never given her the recognition for that, you know.
Well, I give it to her all the time, because she is the one that put 2 things she did. She said the tourism master plan did not include enough of communities and community tourism and the role that community tourism have to play.
I hope you're listening, you know, viewers. I hope you're listening, comrades.
Because her view, which is right, is that many countries in the world are selling sun, sea, and sand.
Yes.
But when we did all of the exit interviews with our visitors, and we asked them what it is about Jamaica, why they come back, or why they had wanted to come to us in the first place, they talk about the culture. They talk about the people. Sun, sea, and sand is there, yes, and they knew they were going to get it. But when they come to Jamaica and they get the experience of the culture of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica, that is what our visitors want. Because if all they wanted to do was to lie down on the beach. And I'm not saying that there aren't people who want to go and lie down on the beach, you know.
Right.
There are. But there are people, usually those are the people who come for the long weekends and, you know, the short term. But the people who come for a week and more, they want to do more than just lie down on the beach. They want to experience the food.
And so you have to include you have to include the people in the experience.
Oh no, I'm coming to that. They want to include the people. They want to drive and stop on the roadside.
Yes.
And interact with the people. They can get what you call gourmet meals. Where they're coming from. They're not coming to Jamaica to get the gourmet meals. They might want that for one night.
Yeah.
But what they want is the authentic Jamaican food. They want the authentic
the
Jamaican
jerk chicken and the fish and
Yes, they want that. And what we began to do was to get the tour operators to begin to curate those kinds of experience.
So that's how Juta came in now.
Juta was there and JCAL was there.
Okay.
Those two companies, and I used to have many meetings with them to talk about their role in the movement of people. In addition to that,
so is it that before they were doing mostly pick up and drop off to the airport, and then you started now to include the experience, probably taking them to different places, different attractions?
Right, I'm coming to that. We began to see the development of what is called the destination marketing companies, DMC they're called. Destination marketing companies, the tour operators.
I see.
We began to see that the tourists wanted to get out of the hotels. But
you know, the labor rights, especially Edmund Bartlett, love to take credit for this, you know. I hear him all the time trying to claim the destination experience as
Sandals developed island routes because Sandals chain realized that the hotel, that the visitors to their hotels wanted the external experience. In this time, you know what we developed? Dolphin Cove.
Dolphin Cove came during that time. I see.
We developed the attraction just outside of Odres. I'm having a senior moment here.
The attraction right outside.
Where you go Margarita above. Yes, that attraction.
Margaritaville.
Mystic Mountain.
Mystic Mountain. Okay.
No,
yes,
Mystic
I remember
Mountain.
Mystic Mountain. Yeah.
Mystic Mountain. Yes, in fact, I had to negotiate with the UDC to get land to build Mystic Mountain.
Okay. So but you see, that is so strange because, you know, they have allowed Mystic Mountain in the last few years to go right down, and it is such a wonderful attraction. What about Choco Cove?
I think Choco Cove started during those years.
Okay.
If you recall Danny Melville.
Yes.
Danny Melville and family conceptualized Choco Cove. In fact, I wanted, since you mentioned Choco Cove, the first dog sled team.
Yes.
I rode on the first dog sled team that Choco Cove developed. And
interesting. I think the time is up. Oh Lord, you know, Zoom only give me 40 minutes, but I'm gonna call her back on the phone and we're going to continue. You know, say Zoom only give me 40 minutes. Me have to go. I'm gonna have to go apply for Zoom. Purchase Zoom. So I'm gonna call her on WhatsApp and we continue the conversation so that you can hear her. Oh, what do you think of the conversation so far, comrades? Are you enjoying it? Let me know in the comments, both on YouTube. Hi, Comrade Assamba, the Zoom time up. You know how it is with Zoom. So I have to bring you back now on the phone so that we can finish up the conversation.
I'm on the phone.
Yes, you're on the phone. So all right, I know that the TikTokers can hear you. I'm going to have to fix it so that the YouTubers can hear you too. I have to go find a way to sling the phone now. This is what happens when you use too much device. All right, TikTok. Let me put it on one side. All right. Okay, so they're saying they're very happy with the conversation. They say that they've learned a lot. They say it's very interesting, you know, so that's a good thing. All right, so we were talking about Mr. Melhado now and the Chukka experience. Wait, I mute you. You mute. Who mute? Me or you? Oh, you're unmuted now. Check if you're muted, Comrade Assamba. I think you mute me by accident. You have muted me. I seen mute across your screen. Tell you what, let me hang up and call you back. She mute herself. She muted herself. You hearing me now? Yeah, man, you had muted yourself. But I'm hearing you clearly now, and so are they.
Alright. Let's go
Mr. Melvin, yes.
Danny Melvin.
Right.
Started with having polo matches.
Having what?
Polo.
Polo. Oh, polo.
Matches.
The horse. Right.
Yeah. And also, people would remember this. All the big carnival parties used to be held at Chocobo.
Yes, man. Yes, with the carnival week.
Right. And then Chocobo started to do a horseback riding.
Yes.
Opening up to the public. And an equestrian experience, I want to call it. And
Yes.
then they got into dog racing.
I never even knew that they got into dog racing.
Well, let me tell you something, to the point where we had a team that raced in the snow, our dog racing team.
Yes, I remember that, but I didn't know that it started there. I remember that that they went and did this the racing in Alaska, that long race, that very long race.
Yes, and if I could just remember the name of the fella.
Yes.
The team came from Chocobo.
Okay.
The team came from Chocobo, and then Chocobo began to do tours up to 9 miles and so on.
Yeah. And they had the little cars, the little buggies.
Yes. And then they had the bus. You remember that bus? Which
Yeah.
was like an old time country bus, and they had replica of fruits and vegetables and on the top of the bus that really looked like a country bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I recall there's a person, I did not discuss with him that I'm going to say this, but he will forgive me.
Okay.
When I was MP, he approached me and he said, Mr. Samba, you couldn't get the Chukka people them to stop at my little place. And I did. He sings my praises, although he was a supporter of the other side.
Well, that the thing about it, you know, when you are a good minister in a good government, everybody benefits.
So I was saying that now to say the development of the attractions
Yes.
was phenomenal. I need to talk about rafting on the Rio Grande.
Yes.
I would tell a joke. I went rafting on the Rio Grande one day. I was actually on holidays
Mm-hmm.
with some friends who I had met in Detroit and who had come to Jamaica, and we stayed at Jamaica Inn. And we went rafting. And somehow it wasn't announced that I was going because I was on holiday.
Right.
Anyway, the president of the Rafters Association was taking me down the river,
Mm-hmm.
and halfway down the river he stopped. And he turned around and he said, Minister, I'm
So he stop you in the middle of the river and tell you that. So you know you can't move. He has your undivided attention.
He had my undivided attention, the raft captain. And I said, what is it? And he told me, and I agreed. He didn't have to negotiate a lot because I agreed with what he was saying. And I said, well, I'm on leave now, but as soon as I go back, we will talk about it.
Excellent.
Because I want to say this. I don't know how many people know this. You drive and you go up to Berrydale, which is where the
Yes,
rafting
where the
starts.
rafting starts.
You might have left your car down in Port Antonio and driven on the bus to go up.
Yes.
Or you might organize yourself in such a way that somebody drove your car up and then it went down to meet you at the bottom.
Yes.
Do you know that those raftsmen have to walk back up the river with the rafts?
Really? With the raft? But that's a very far away, man.
And do you think it is easy to pull the raft?
No, it can't be. And I'm sure they suffer a lot of damage to the raft, which is made of bamboo, in that long journey. That is not even a near, that is a very, very long.
3 miles. They have a long run and they have a short run.
Wow.
Let me tell you, I learned what the experience the raftmen were working under, and I got to understand that particular attraction. There were many other attractions like that I had to learn. I remember Mr. Patterson was one day jokingly said, you are probably the first minister who has attempted to do all the attractions that we have in Jamaica, including walking on the floor of the ocean.
Really?
Yes, Chaka Cove had a helmet, a huge thing that you put on that air came down in.
I didn't even know that there was an ocean floor.
Jamaican people don't know what exists in that, and it is there for all of us to enjoy.
You hear that, viewers and subscribers, you hear that there are a lot of things available for
I
us.
honestly don't know whether Chaka still has that, but I actually have a picture of me with that helmet on.
Wow.
And sky, you know that sky thing?
This,
Skydiving, because we don't have skydiving.
the paragliding.
No, the other one is like a parasailing.
Oh, parasailing.
Parasailing, I have done snorkeling, I have done the other one.
Interesting.
The thing on your back, the tanks with the oxygen.
The
on your
scuba
back.
diving
Scuba diving, I have done all of those.
and
things.
zip lining.
Sorry?
The zip line.
But it's part of the experience that is not only open to tourists, it's
Open to Jamaicans, that's right.
And I'm very glad to see more and more Jamaicans who are doing that. And during that time too, a lot of small hotels were built up.
Especially in Negril.
Especially in Negril.
The boutique hotels.
The boutique hotels. The boutique hotels. I remember during the time I was minister, we had the Hurricane Ivan. I wonder if you all remember.
Yeah, man, Hurricane Ivan destroy Harbour View.
Well, and the surprising thing is that it didn't really hit Jamaica, you know.
Yes, it came from the bottom. It came underneath us. So the south coast got it.
Let me tell you, we had to jump to get JPS out there. I was on the road with my staff at the tourist board and in the Ministry of Tourism, working with the JPS people to get the power back up for the hotels.
Somebody's asking you about Nanny Town. Where is Nanny Town? Yes, somebody asking you about Nanny Town.
Portland.
Right.
I have actually gone up there and met with the Colonel of the Maroons at the time. And we would always meet with the Maroons. Nanny Town is not developed as much as it could be, but, and I have to say a but here, we don't want Nanny Town to look like
The Metropolitan. It needs to keep its
yes,
look.
or
Yeah.
if you go to a place which I love, Niagara Falls.
Right. Could have very well been my end. We're reconnecting. Right. The
You
yeah, the internet dropped down for a while, but it's back. Yes, we're hearing you clearly now.
Okay, you all must remember that I live in St. Annie. I'm not in the metropole.
Yes, I know. It seemed to be on my end this time. It seemed to be digital modem. But I'm smart. I'm using 3 separate devices, so I connect everybody. To a different device.
During that period, I
Yes.
want to just say this because people will forget. We brought Virgin Atlantic to Jamaica.
Ah, so you were getting those flights from UK.
From the UK, I remember, and I tell you this, I went to Montego Bay to welcome the flight and to welcome Richard Branson.
I remember that. I actually remember that.
And he came out on the plane, on the wing of the plane, with something which looked like a big spliff in his mouth. I upgraded him for it because I told him this is not the image we are selling of Jamaica.
Yes. But that's the image that he understood of Jamaica, so we had a lot of work to do.
Right, and we worked with them. So we brought
What's
Virgin
going on
Atlantic
here?
to Jamaica.
Give me a minute, Comrade Assamba. 1 minute. Inactivity. Just give me 1 minute. TikTok does this sometime. Watch me and them. Sometimes they ask me to verify when they don't see anything happening on the.
Oh,
Y'all know how TikTok stay, so you know, so you have to tap up the screen and give me gifts and do all of these things because the people them just said that we are inactive. Listen to me, comrades. It says that we are inactive, so therefore you know what to do. They TikTok love when we come on the platform come big, you know. I never see nothing like this. If them say nothing not going on, they tell you them freeze the live and say we inactive. All right. So yeah, man, go ahead now. We up and clear.
no, I want to talk about the TEN.
Right.
I
Yes.
want to talk about
That's very important.
fun.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can I go with that?
Yeah, man, go ahead. We're hearing you.
Well, Jamaica is a member of the Caribbean Tourism Organization,
Right.
and one of the first meetings that I went to for the Caribbean Tourism Organization was in June
Mm-hmm.
of 2021. June. It was held in New York. The CTO was at the time discussing how can we get our partners to contribute to the marketing plan for the CTO.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm chairing the committee that is discussing it, and we came up with this grand idea. And we put it to them, and they agreed. These are the ministers, eh?
Right.
And they agreed. I come home to Jamaica. I was so excited. I couldn't even sit down. I'm trying to remember if I went straight up to Mr. Patterson's house from the airport to talk about this plan. And he listened to me. And when I was finished, he was fine. And he kind of rubbed his chin and he said, I'm very glad to see your enthusiasm.
I can hear him saying that.
And here, but let me warn you, it's not going to work.
Oh dear.
And I said, what do you mean by that, sir? He says, well, watch the partners pick off the governments of the Caribbean one by one. Just watch it. And let me tell you something. I said to him, sir, it's not going to work in the Caribbean, but can it work here in Jamaica?
Mm-hmm.
He says, what you I said, you know, when I went to London in December 2002, I got the tourism management done. It's a fantastic plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yes.
Not everybody saw the vision. I get some piece of custom.
I can imagine.
People who are now in charge of the tourism
Enhancement.
fund. I almost had to go on my knees.
Well, if they are in charge of it, no, that means that they're probably on the other side. And those people always lack vision, you know.
I tried to say to myself that there's something that I'm not talk out loud.
But we know those people always lack vision.
But let me tell you, the DBJ, the Development Bank of Jamaica, and what's his name, Kingsley Thomas,
Yes.
were on board. He gave us his boardroom and we met there every Friday morning to talk about how this thing was going to go. We had to get IATA on board. You know, IATA is a company that everybody pays for their airline ticket to. And then they
Okay.
pay. Yes, that is how it goes, you know.
I see.
IATA, everybody pays into IATA and IATA settles it. It's like the clearinghouse.
Ah.
Like what Bank of Jamaica clearinghouse does for
Yes.
banks.
Yes.
IATA does that. We had to get IATA to agree that they would collect the money on our behalf and pass it over to the government of Jamaica. We worked out that how we would charge per ticket was a recognition that we charge. The average stay at the time was 5 days, and we would charge $2 per day,
I
which
see.
means $10.
Yeah.
That's where we started. And IATA agreed. At the time, IATA said it would have to be ring fenced. That money could not go into the consolidated fund
Okay.
because they were not collecting taxes on behalf of the government of Jamaica. We
Right.
had to save our taxes. This was a fund that was established by law in the parliament, and this was how it was going to operate. We got the sign off from IATA signed off. It meant that the travel agencies
They would definitely have to collect because they control everything.
included. The precedent had already been set because we had charged airport improvement fund. You know, I'm not even sure if they're still charging that, but we had put on to the ticket a sum for the improvement of the airports.
Yeah.
Probably find out if that is on. So we already had the precedent set. No. The hardest thing to overcome was one, to get the movers and shakers in the hotel industry, especially the people who come from Montego Bay, and I'm saying it straight now.
Those were the ones who were the most resistant.
I walk on my knees to every different group to explain how this was going to not just benefit the country, but in the end benefit their business if we are able to develop a product that will attract more visitors to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Eventually, we got them to sign up, not without insisting that they had to get the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association had to get 5 members on the board of the TEF, and then of course we had to put members of the attractions, Jamaica Attractions Company, and other and the transport sector, all the various sectors had to be on the board.
Right.
And we had to get the law drafted and passed. And let me tell you something. Hyacinth Lindsay was the chief parliamentary counsel at the time, was in charge of drafting laws. And she says to me, ALOUN, if you ever send this to Maisha, you're not getting it out for years because there are so many laws drafted ahead of the TEF. I said to her, remember we are lawyers together. eh?
Yes.
So I said to her, if I get the law drafted, would
Yeah.
The law is drafted, it goes to cabinet. If cabinet approves the policy, then it goes to the legislation committee, which goes through that act.
Okay.
Word by word. And then it goes back with any adjustments, any amendments that the legislation committee makes, and it goes back to the Chief Parliamentary Council to have the law finally done, that it can be tabled in Parliament. So guess what? I have a friend, and I can call her name, Miss Daphne Wilson. She used to work with the Revenue Board. She's a lawyer. I said to Daphne, Sarah Church, I said, Daphne, I need your help. I need you to help me to draft this law. I co-opted Daphne on the committee that we had meeting every Friday morning to come and hear the concept of the policy we were trying to put together. And when we had gotten to the stage where we can now begin to draft the law, Daphne and I drafted the law.
What year was this?
I know it will be 2004.
2000.
I don't remember, 2004, 2005, because remember the process is a long process.
Yes. And they admit, right, so it would have still been under Comrade P.J. Patterson's time.
It started with Comrade P.J. Patterson, but by the time it became law, it was...
Comrade Portia.
Yes. Just trying to remember. You know why it's not so much in my head, and I should have had it. I just have these senior moments. But when it came to go to Parliament, guess what? I was out of the country.
Oh no.
So it was piloted through the Parliament by Wickham McNeil, who was the Minister of State.
Yes. Oh, that was your Minister of State.
He was my Minister of State. He piloted the law.
Okay.
But by then, we had negotiated, I walked on my knees, I had got everybody on board to get this law passed. And it was passed. And then we had, after the law is passed, you then have to develop the fund itself.
Yes.
We had to find people who would put the structure in place, get staffing, decide on the policy, how is the money going to be used, and all of the things that have to go into place to get a new organization put in place. And it was done. And the Tourism Enhancement Fund was up and running by 2006. But the law was passed before, but it takes a little while to get there.
Yes, I understand.
Now, the purpose of the Tourism Enhancement Fund was to fund the major projects which were identified by the Tourism Master Plan.
Somebody's asking how you feel now about how the JLP is using the TEF.
That's a whole program in itself.
Oh boy.
And I am not involved, and we do have a spokesperson on behalf of the
Right, the PNP.
the opposition who would be better to answer that. I can answer as a layperson right now. I get very angry sometimes when I see what the fund has been used for.
Yeah.
But we're not there. Let me tell you something. Losing elections, comrades. Losing elections has consequences.
That's right.
Okay?
It does. Serious consequences.
Give me 1 minute. Can you give me 1 minute? I keep being beaten over the head by the labor rights.
Right.
About a man.
Go right
It
ahead.
has nothing to do with government. It has nothing to do with appointment of persons to any government board or any organization that got $1 from government. I made a speech to Region 3 many years ago, would have been probably 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
And I was saying to the comrades, you need to become involved in your community.
Right. I remember that
And
speech.
your citizens association. You need to be part of your PTA. You need to be part of your church group. You need to have the PNP at work in all of these organizations. In Southeast Centre, we had been discussing the establishment of a civic committee.
Right.
Not political at all. And in fact, the ombudsman at the time, Reverend Harold Blair, came
Yes.
down to South Africa and examined everything, including all the members, who were many of them JLP members,
Okay.
to ask if I had appointed anybody and if I was directing this organization, and they all could respond honestly, absolutely not. This was an organization, the civic committee, that planned and executed national events. There was a time when only Claremont had an event commemorating
I remember that.
our independence,
Mm-hmm.
our labor, not Labor Day because most people were doing work on Labor Day, our Heroes Day. And
Yes.
it was organized by that
The civic committee.
not a civic committee. It was not a government committee. It got not $1 from the government.
Interesting.
I appointed nobody to the committee,
Mm-hmm.
but encouraged people to join.
Yes.
Because my encouragement was that it is not only PMP business you're about, you are about
Exactly.
the development of your community.
You serve
and
everybody.
your country. And so all these, I get it every time I open my mouth.
Every time you open your mouth, they come up with it. You see, the thing is, they have nothing else to attack you about, you know. But that, this is the purpose of this program, because what we try to do is educate the comrades. Because I believe that the reason why more comrades don't defend you is because they don't know what happened. So now that you are explaining, we can actually say, okay, this is what happened, and it had nothing to do with politics. You know, what we're trying to do now is debunk this whole propaganda narrative that they're spreading, that in the 90s, in the 2000s, during the 18 years, PNP did nothing and it was the missing 18 years.
Comrade Lisa Hannah, I'm not sure when she did that video.
Yes.
But she has done video in which she talks about the things that the PNP
I saw
did
it.
in those 18 years. And all the development that is taking place now, all the development
Yeah,
began in those 18 years.
exactly.
All the development taking place in the country began in those 18 years.
That is it.
Highways, the plan for the highways began in those 18 years. The development that is taking place in tourism began in those 18 years.
That's the blueprint that they're using now. The 18 years is the blueprint to this day.
Yes. I wanted to speak about the pension scheme, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Those discussions started when I was minister
Okay.
about putting a pension scheme in place. The scheme was solidified when Whittam McNeil was minister
Okay.
in the period of 2012.
But now we hear Ed Bartlett all over the place with it, claiming it as his own. So these are, I'm so happy that you brought this up, because I thought that it was Ed Bartlett that introduced it, not realizing it was.
Whittam spoke about this in Parliament prior to 2016. It
Ah,
was in train again, the negotiations to get people to buy
the
this
buy-in.
program
Yeah.
took a little time. And yes, I must admit that it culminated with the current minister. I'm not going to deny that.
Yes. But he didn't start it. The heavy lifting was already done.
We also started having negotiations about housing for tourism workers.
Yes.
The problem was, however, that while you could identify, for example, we even looked at the lands that were originally used by Reynolds Jamaica Limited
Mm-hmm.
and are under the control of the Jamaica Bauxite Institute.
Okay.
But that would only cover a small part of the tourism workers.
Yes, that is true.
Because that is only Saint Anne, eh?
Yeah.
I mentioned Princess Hotels earlier on. The context in which I had originally wanted to speak about Princess
Yes.
is because my friend has been working with Princess for the last year.
Okay.
And the hotel is built.
Yeah, it's being built now.
Yes, but I'm saying that they have had staff working, not construction staff now, you know.
Yeah. So what are the staff doing there?
Preparing for the opening of the hotel.
So it's in an advanced stage of construction now then.
So they're in construction now, but they have to prepare themselves to have staff in place and trained.
Yes.
So HR is working now and has been working for the last year
Oh,
in
okay.
order to prepare for the opening of the hotel, which is going to be a couple of months from now, eh?
Yeah.
But I'm going to mention, Princess, that in my conversation, I understood that they're also going to be building housing for the staff, because remember what I tell you, where it is beyond Lucy
Going towards Green Island side.
yes, so the staff have to have somewhere to live,
Yes.
and they are going to be, they are part of their plan is to have housing for the staff. But I want to say that we have actually started discussions and negotiations around housing for the tourism workers.
Okay.
That's a whole mouthful, eh?
Yeah, I know. But the thing about it is, as we keep saying, that we have all of the plans, and yet somehow these labor rights manage to claim it, because nobody, you see, Comrade ALOUN, I'm happy that you had this opportunity. I had the opportunity to talk to you about what your accomplishments were when you were the minister, because really and truly nobody speaks about these things.
Yeah.
So
Can I say one other thing?
yeah, man,
I
definitely.
want to mention craft workers,
Yes, go right ahead.
the sellers of crafts,
Yeah.
and the ones who are creating craft. There is going to be a meeting of the craft workers, which is being organized by Comrade Ryan Simpson.
Okay, good.
It's on my Facebook page because he sent it to me today.
Ah.
You know what is funny? I keep saying God has a sense of humor. When I was busy campaigning to be the MP for Southeast Center, there was a meeting of craft workers in, I need to say this. You remember the Montego Bay Convention Center?
Yes.
It was built in those 18 years in which nothing ever happened.
Yes, and now look who is enjoying it. PJ Patterson built that.
And had it built.
And it was at the same time that Half Moon was renovated.
Yes.
So they worked hand in hand together.
Let me tell you, I was invited to speak to the island-wide craft vendors, you know.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I can't take this whole day to go to Montego Bay and talk to these people. And my campaign manager said to me, ALOUN, some of them are your constituents.
That's true.
And I went. And then I became Minister of Tourism.
Wow.
But I'm making that connection to say, as Minister of Tourism, I discovered the challenges that the craft vendors were facing.
Yeah.
And one of them was the fact that they were not getting the kind of business that they need to get in order to stay afloat
Yeah.
with their families. And that is what Comrade Dan Simpson is having that meeting to get to see what can we do to improve the situation with regards to the craft vendors.
When is the meeting?
I don't remember. If somebody could look on my Facebook page, it's on it. It's probably next week, Monday or Thursday. I'm not sure
Okay.
which date.
I will check and put
I
it
just
up.
saw it this evening. But one of the things that I did was to get the Port Authority
Yes.
in Otrius to agree that if I could set up a schedule of 20 craft vendors to come on the port when the ship was in harbor,
Okay.
they could do that.
You started that, because I know that initiative is still on, where Once a ship is in port, the craft vendors come to the ports.
Yes, I started that.
Comrades, I hope you're listening.
I got assistance from Professor Crooks, who is now dead. But he was very, very helpful in getting the craft vendors organized.
Yeah.
He used to run an ambulance service in Otriel. So
Dr. Crooks, yeah, he died last year, I believe.
Crooks. Yes, he died last year.
Yeah.
And I knew him because he was my chiropractor at one point.
Okay.
And then he moved to the North Coast and we broke up again.
Yes.
And two things I asked him to do for me. And one was to lead the Claremont Church's chorale.
Okay. Yes,
After
because
I heard him
yes.
leading the dance day one. And he
Okay.
came to Claremont religiously and with that chorale into shape, that choir into shape.
Somebody wants to know if Iberia Star Hotel was during your time.
It was planned. Let me tell you, Iberia Star is the one that has the three Ultimatic.
Yes, that had problems because of the
There
airport.
is the low end one, the middle end one, and the upper end one.
Yes.
It was during that time.
There you go, Randine. It was during Comrade Assamba's time. Yeah.
Yeah. It was during my time. And I got Professor Crooks, Dr. Crooks,
Yes.
to help me to organize a roster of craft vendors to go on the port.
While
So
the ships came
Some
in.
of the business while the ship was in, so they could get some of the business. So you know, it's those little things. Let me tell you, tourism is not only about the big hotels.
No, it's not.
It is about how do we transfer the money that is to be spent in Jamaica to the ordinary Jamaicans who are
Exactly.
working in the industry.
I hope that there is.
Impressed here that 40% of the tourism earnings stay in Jamaica. It should be higher than that.
It should be at least 80%. Where is it going?
I know that the investors have to get their money. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But one of the things that keeps happening, and we get a lot of complaints about it, is that they are bringing in even the entertainers.
Listen, let me tell you something about that. I'm a dancer, as you know. And back in the 2000s, I used to dance on the North Coast in those hotels. I used to be a dancer in the shows. And they brought in the dancers. I think the last time I performed on the North Coast would have been about 2007.
I'm sorry, I live in country.
Yeah, man, I know.
Something for me.
But in 2007, all of a sudden they started sidelining us. 2007, 2008, they started sidelining us for the foreigners to come and do the same. Basically, they want the foreigners to come and do the same thing we're doing. And they weren't even as good as us because, you know, we have a little dance hall reggae flavor. Exactly, exactly.
You know, we need to have, and this is one of the things that is of concern to me. We don't have enough performance stages.
No, we don't. You are so right.
In Kingston, and even within Kingston.
And a lot of them shut down during COVID and haven't reopened.
And have not reopened, yes. Yeah. And so I have to join our...
We freeze. Give me a minute. I hearing that we freeze again. Give me a minute. Let me see what.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I hear that we freeze. I'm checking it. Alright.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just give me a minute.
We alright, man. It good now. Alright. Okay. Alright, Comrade Assamba. We up again.
In that cultural space, I have to join our comrade, Debbie.
Yes.
Who is the person on culture.
Yes.
In the work that she's doing to get the country to understand and to recognize the value of the cultural industries. People come to Jamaica because they want the Jamaican experience. And what culture is the Jamaican experience.
Exactly. Not the Spanish experience. Why? I don't know.
They can go to Santo Domingo and get that.
And Cuba.
Everybody goes to Cuba and go to
exactly.
And go to the Flamingo and go down to Varadero and all of those places. They come to Jamaica because they want the Jamaican experience.
Exactly.
And that's what we
Okay, all right, good. So let us talk about the politics of the the early 2000s now in terms of Comrade PJ Patterson and the PNP, because at the time, and we don't have much time left, but just for the next 8 minutes, I just want us to focus on the difference between then and now in terms of from the political end, because at that time we were literally a winning machine, right? So what?
We were, and we
Yes.
didn't have some of the internal. Not to say we didn't have it, we did,
Yes.
but we didn't have the kind of internal machinations that we have had in the last how many years now? 22 years, 3 years,
More than that.
more than 4 years. Let's call it 4 years,
Yeah.
because PJ was involved. You know the difference between PJ, Portia, and Mark
Yeah.
is that PJ grew up in the politics.
Yes.
He was an organizer, he was an MP, he was a minister, he was a vice president, he was all of those things
Right.
before he became the leader of the party.
Definitely.
Portia grew up in the politics.
Mm-hmm.
She won a seat in the local government elections when nobody thought she could win it.
Exactly.
And she won the seat. And she was a councillor, and then she was an MP, and then she was a minister, all before she became party leader.
Right.
Mark was the equivalent of a technocrat.
Yes.
Mark did not have his eyes on politics.
Exactly. Comrades, I hope you're listening to this.
Mark became the Minister of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, nobody else has the record that he has of the number. You heard me talk about how hard it is to bring an act to Parliament.
Yes.
A bill to Parliament to be passed as law.
Indeed.
Mark did human work in
Indeed.
bills into Parliament to be passed. Some of them are still there languishing for the last 8 years.
Quite right.
I would say that he had this leadership thrust upon him,
He did.
and people didn't know who is Mark Gordon.
Exactly.
So he has had to spend this time to go around so that people could see him. And I have watched from the sideline, and I have watched people just warm to him,
Amen.
just understand that his sole purpose is to move this country forward.
Exactly. I hope you're listening, comrades. I hope you're hearing.
Mark could, I remember, he doesn't know I'm going to say this, but I discussed this with him years ago when I was in the UK,
Okay.
around the kitchen table.
Mm-hmm.
He had come to a meeting of the Commonwealth Ministers of Justice.
Okay.
And I said to him, by this time, he was the MP.
Right. Yes.
And I said to him, I see you as a future leader of the party.
And him just laugh, don't?
He laughed. He said, Hey, Commissioner, you must be crazy.
That's exactly what he said to me.
I like my life.
Yes.
I have my wife. I have my children.
Indeed.
I have a profession. Yes, I agreed to do the job as Minister of Justice, but I do not see politics as my life. So the night when he became the leader, I quietly said to him, what did I tell you? I was not involved in the campaign,
I know.
I was
Yes.
not involved in the first campaign,
Yes.
and I was not involved in Mark or Lisa's campaign.
Yeah.
Because I have a different role that I played in the party.
Yes, I know that you are a part of the internal commission.
Internal, exactly. The Internal Affairs Commissioner,
Affairs.
Appeals Commissioner, and so on. So I don't get involved. I did not get involved. I went to no meetings. I just dealt matters relating to elections.
Yeah.
And when I said that to him, he said to me, you put your goat mouth on me.
It's a whole heap of goat mouth going on him, Exactly.
You just have to fight. Whereas
Somebody wants to know if you're coming on the campaign trail. No, because we need you.
I will come.
Okay, there you go.
I know this is like a red flag to you, Kamla.
Yes.
When I talk about long haul COVID.
Yes, yes, yes.
Problems with my legs.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I have that problem, but I will be out there. As much as I can, I'll be out there. But I really want to say the differences. PJ, Portia, and Peter
Yes.
grew up in the party.
Mm-hmm.
Almost molded to become leader,
Yes.
but not Mark.
You have to
It was
fight
just
for it.
something.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure about having to fight for it.
Since he became leader, because as you said before, it was just put in him hand.
His fight has been since he has been leader.
Exactly.
That is where the fight has been.
Yes.
Since he has
become the
And
leader.
I'm telling you, I have not seen anybody work hard like him.
I agree.
Yes, Portia work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, PJ work hard. Yes, Peter work hard.
Right.
It has been 4 years of working hard.
Yeah. Him really work hard. Him really do a whole heap of work.
Sometimes I have to say, give him a little break now.
Give him a little break now.
Spend a little time with his wife.
Yeah.
I don't even say children because they are grown up and I think, but he needs to spend a little time with his wife. I'm glad to see that he sometimes gets an opportunity to do that.
Yes. I agree that at this point, but he I think probably needs to carry her out some more into it as well. I don't know what you think about that.
Select Prime Minister.
Yes.
I am prepared to do everything in my power to see him become the Prime Minister.
I totally agree with you, and I second that. On that note, it's time we wrap up because I've had you for quite a while. It is now 9:30. Yes.
An hour and a half.
Exactly, but it has been a wonderful conversation. I appreciate this so much. I want to thank you for taking the time. They say they want you in East Portland to help them. So I don't know. That's what the viewers are saying.
I know Doreen for quite a while.
Right, that's West Portland. Doreen Forbes Campbell.
I know Doreen for quite a while. I don't know the East Portland person
Colin
as
Bell.
well as I know Doreen.
Yeah, man. But I guess when that time comes, you'll decide where you do the work.
I'll be out there.
Yes, I want to thank you so much, Comrade ALOUN. Thank you for stopping by. And we're going to bring you back because we have more things to talk about in the future.
Alright. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
About Jamaica's name on the international sphere.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
We need to talk about that.
We do. We have to do a part 2.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for coming by.
I appreciate it.
And I appreciate it too.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, comrades, there you have it. I know that you are seeing me over here on TikTok, but the YouTube people don't see my face in quite a while. So let me change the scene and get back my face over there. All right, so what did you all think of that conversation? Wanna like it, tap up the screen, share up the live. I think it was a wonderful conversation. I really appreciated that from Comrade ASSAMBA. But we have a whole heap of things to talk about, comrades. The night don't done yet. I came on late, but me not going to end late tonight. Alright, yes, it was a very informative discussion. I'm so happy that she was able to put a lot of things in context. Let me just put up back the phone now. Yeah. Good night, Patrick Palmer. Yeah, I'm just happy that, yes, so Clover is saying she was phenomenal. Thank you, Clover. I'm just happy that she was able to put a lot of things in context about what was happening in those 18 years, because the JLP and them narrative, you know. So my aim, comrades, is to get as many people as possible to show you that the 18 years, you just join, you miss it. All right, well, it will be on the YouTube, because guess what? We're also live on YouTube, and the beauty with YouTube Live is that you can always go back and watch it at any time. So if you missed it over here, when we're done, just go over YouTube and go watch it. All right, it is over there. But yes, as I'm saying, you know, what we're aiming to do is to ensure now, so the narrative, we don't want them controlling the narrative. The narrative is very important to us. We have to remember, comrades, that the JLP is a propaganda party. Yes, we're going to part 2. I'm going to arrange a part 2 with her for some time next week. Based on our conversation last night with the Almost Failed Live, that turned out to be a very, very good live. I spoke to Dr. Roger Hunter, who is a world-renowned neurosurgeon, and he has agreed to come on the program. You know, I don't go live on a Thursday, so definitely Friday night we're going to have Dr. Roger Hunter, and he will be talking to you about the things what we talked about last night in terms of his detox protocol for the juke. So I know a lot of you want to hear that, so I'm just putting that in from now so that you know, stay tuned. So we're going to have him on Friday night. You understand? But in terms of the conversation with Comrade ALOUN, we definitely have to have a part 2. And I hope, comrades, that when we have these conversations, you bring on the young one, even if they're not on their device, put it on your TV and turn up the TV so them can hear it. Right? Remember, we're on YouTube too, so they could hear on YouTube. You can stream it on your TV from YouTube and just listen, because this information, you want Damien to respond to favor. I'll certainly see if we can do that. But I'm glad you brought up this whole thing about response, because we're going to continue with the conversation now. Now, Tufton made his speech today. Tufton made his speech yesterday in Parliament, his sectorial presentation. But what we can understand is how Tufton lies. So, how Tufton lies. So, comrades, how Tufton lies. So, what a man lie. Him lie. What a man lie. All right. So, I'm going to play something now that I see them have on the news media about what Tufton said. So, listen closely.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says there's no truth to claims that the government spent $21 billion on the renovation project at Cornwall Regional Hospital in...
So when I use new things, alright, maybe find it and play it, because it now work right this so. I'm gonna find it on my phone and play it for you so you can hear it. Here we go.
Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says there's no truth to claims that the government spent $21 billion on the renovation project at
now listen carefully.
Hospital in St. James. During his contribution to the sectoral debate on Tuesday, Dr. Tufton told the House that the sum includes expenditure on multiple other health facilities in Western Jamaica.
This 21 billion is being banded about, either without proper understanding of the expenditure or just an attempt of mischief making. First of all, the 21 billion includes expenditures on Falmouth, on Noel Homes, on building out a new
God.
This minister, he was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
Hey, you know, I forget to Tufton, you know. Tufton different. You know, have to give it to Tufton. Tufton is like, I don't even know what to say about Tufton. Tufton come in like him lie till him don't even remember the lie them when him tell. Tufton don't even remember the lie them when him tell. Let me show you something now. I want to show you something over YouTube because I can't really show you on TikTok, but I am changing a graphic because I want to show you something. I want to show you how this man lie and wicked. Hey, in February this year, this February just gone 3 months ago. I'm going to tell you what come out now in February. You see, that's the thing about Tufton, you know. He speaks so much lies, comrades, that him don't even know the lie them when him talk. Background good to go. Him don't even know the lie them when him talk. And I'm looking for something for you because I'm going to read something for you. Because this man is confused. I'm just waiting for this to come up properly because this man, revised cost for Cornwall Regional Hospital rehabilitation is now at $21 billion. That's what the article says, comrades. And this article was published Thursday, February 15, 2024. Right? So that article was published 1 week shy of 3 months ago. When you're following me, the total cost for the redevelopment of the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James is now estimated at $21.4 billion, according to new budget documents released by the government. When they talk to me there, tap up the screen and share up the live, comrades. Make we get the word out. Facebook, share up the link. Tap up the screen. Tap up the, give me some likes. Make sure you subscribe. That figure includes the controversial $15 billion contract that the cabinet last year approved to the Chinese firm ZDA Construction Company, despite the Public Procurement Commission claiming that the Ministry of Health and Wellness presided over an irregular process. I hope you're listening. The ministry rejected that assertion. The estimates of expenditure for the 2004-2005 financial year tabled in Parliament today stated that the initial estimated cost for the hospital project was just over $5 billion. However, it said, listen to this now. This is why I know say Tufton wicked and him damn lie. However, it said the figure has been revised to $21.4 billion. So this is what I cannot understand. Who is Tufton attacking? Who is he attacking? That is what I want to know. Who is he attacking in Parliament? Him attacking himself. He must be attacking himself. Because he's the one who said this. Him said this, you know. It's not PNP said. So I am trying to understand, how is it that he is busy attacking PNP in Parliament? But it's him said. Approximately $6.7 billion has already been spent, with $5.8 billion projected for the upcoming financial year and about $8.9 billion for the 2 years leading up to March 2027. This is not our figures, comrades. This is their figures. So what I don't understand is, How is this man accusing the PNP of making up things? It's him. The scope of work was significantly widened. The project, which is being funded entirely by taxpayers, was originally slated to run from April 2019 to March 2023. So it run over in time, it's run over in money, it run over in everything. But the project has now been extended to March 2027. The document lists $2 billion for 2026 to 2027. Last November, the Government's Information Agency, GIS, reported that work started on October 16 and are expected to be completed in 2026. So what I want them confused, the thing about Tufton, you see, Dr. DEATH, him just run himself round and round in circles. Him literally run him when him tells so much lie, him don't even know so him telling a lie anymore. Citing the Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, listen to this. JIS also reported that the phased occupation of the main building will commence in April to mid-year 2024. What did he say about this time? Because we reached there, so now, this is between April and mid-year 2024. So I want to know what is going on for that. You understand? Up to December 2023, the new budget document stated that the achievements under the project include a full roof repair. Listen to what the project include now. A full roof repair, demolition and structural repairs to 9 floors and the basement, and the signing of the contract with ZDA. Now, answer me this. Did the man mention the building with the accident and emergency or the renovation of Falmouth? He mentioned any of that in this? Or the renovation of the clinic then? You hear him say any of this in this? Answer me. Because this is what he is saying now. So it's like him just making up as it go along. Him confused. The anticipated targets for the upcoming financial year, which starts on April 1, include completing the designs for phase 3 and starting the construction work and the initiation of procurement of certain terms. The restoration of Falmouth, the restoration of Cornwall Regional, the chief primary health care facility in Western Jamaica, has been fraught with problems. It started, listen to the timeline now, It started in 2016 with concerns about noxious fumes, comrades. 2016. So the construction work, the rehabilitation of Cornwall is just as old as the government. So for 8 years now, Cornwall has been being rehabilitated for 8 full years. Them could have built 2 hospitals in that time. Comrades, they could have built 2 brand new hospitals from start to finish, dig up the ground and start and finish during that time. It's been 8 years. So it started in 2016 with concerns about noxious fumes, followed by the relocation of services, shifting deadlines, ballooning budgets, and problems with contractors. In December 2020, Tufton blamed the lack of local expertise for the missed deadlines and signaled that his ministry would look overseas for help. The Jamaica Institute of Engineers and other construction stakeholders slammed the minister as misguided, with one expert deeming Cornwall Regional a messy project that had all the hallmarks of bad planning and cavalier spending. You see? I know we said that, and the people them were in the industry said that. Because as far as them concerned, the whole thing is just a slush fund. The Health Ministry signed a contract with ZDA in September 2023. This is the Chinese people them now who fixing it up. The company took over from engineering firm M&M Jamaica. Opposition People's National Party has criticized the government over the angle. Any sensible person would have criticized them because this can't make sense. This can't make sense. Want to tell me now? I want to tell me how this makes sense. And we're still going to talk a little more about Tufton's speech. Because, me see, Aldous put him to the ringer today, you know, comrades. Me see Aldous put him to the ringer today. Aldous take him on today, you know. Dr. Aldous, me put some respect on him name because we now go call Chris Tufton with him DBA doctor and then we come style the big laparoscopic surgeon. Me call him by him correct name. The big laparoscopic surgeon where is actually one real doctor. A doctor in real life. We now go style him. Alright, so I'm looking for the PNP's press release because I'm going to read it for you. I'm just looking for it. Opposition labels the Minister of Health and Wellness as out of touch. This is from Comrade Dr. Aldous. Opposition spokesman on health and wellness, Dr. Alfred Dawes, the real doctor now, has labeled the Minister of Health and Wellness as out of touch with the realities facing healthcare workers and users of the public health system. He described the sectoral debate by the minister on May 7th as following in the same vein of announcements from the government about mega projects being equal to success, while the common man is not feeling the impact of these developments. Dr. Dawes says that for the first time in the history of post-independent Jamaica, there is fiscal space to properly finance the health sector, but the significant increase in funding has been accompanied by deterioration of the health sector. Let me tell you now, comrades, up to today, a woman called me in tears. She lost her baby. Her baby was born on Friday, April 26th, my daughter's birthday. She lost her baby at Victoria Jubilee. But it is just so, the case is just so heartrending. People are suffering. And some basic things, when you hear her tell her story about the lack of being able to give the newborn babies warm air, because, you know, when they're giving them the oxygen, they're supposed to warm the air or is it going to cause irritation of the windpipe, and then if the windpipe is irritated, that will complicate whatever them have. They can't even give the neonates warm air. They don't have the humidifier. Basic things that we are lacking in our system. Very basic things. And so reading this article, I'm reminded of this. You see this now? Listen to this. I don't read, this is the first time I'm reading this press release. This is the first time I'm reading. I just take it up, I see the headline, and I know that I got a release, and it's the first time I'm reading it. Over the last few years, more mothers are dying during childbirth compared to the last 3 decades. I'm telling you this already. More neonates, infants, and children under the age of 5 are dying when compared to 25 years ago, when the health budget was less than a third of the current budget, even with adjustment for inflation. While global trends are showing fewer women dying in childbirth, uterine cancer, breast cancer, Jamaica has seen increase in the death rates of these predominantly preventable or treatable conditions. The lack of investment in proper screening programs. It look like we have to go call Dr. Dawes over here, man. Comrades, we have to go call Dr. Dawes over here, don't it? When you talk to me there. We have to go call Dr. Dawes over here. Because Dr. Dawes have to come talk to me about this. We have to have a conversation with Dr. Dawes about all of this. Deaths Okay. The lack of investment in proper screening programs has seen jumps in death rates for prostate, colon, breast, and other cancers, while countries that have prioritized screening programs have seen death rates for these cancers falling. Deaths from chronic diseases such as strokes, renal failure, heart attack, and diabetes are also on the rise. So everything arises up under Dr. Death. Mirroring global trends, but the morbidity and mortality rate for these so-called Western lifestyle diseases are far worse in developing countries. Why weren't mammograms, fit tests, colonoscopies, and PSA tests made a priority? We know that late-stage cancers are claiming the lives of our people. How frequently can patients at the newly refurbished health centers access timely consultations with doctors to manage their blood sugar and blood pressure and prevent significant organ damage in the future? Dr. Dawes questioned. Tragically, I hope you're listening, Tragically, many patients experiencing heart attack and strokes are left to perish due to insufficient availability of ICU beds. Despite promises to increase ICU capacity during the COVID pandemic, along with a massive infusion of funding for the sector and donation of dozens of ventilators from international partners, our ICU capacity remains unchanged from pre-COVID. The question remains, where have all the donated ventilators and the funds allocated for ICU expansion gone? The 400 million, I know Chris can't tell me where the $400 million there. The $400 million we him get for COVID, where that there? And that I want to know, where the $400 million there? Oh my God. In addition to the health indicators showing a decline in the overall health of Jamaicans, the experience at public hospitals and health centers is depressing and frustrating for far too many patients and undersupplied, overworked employees. You can't fault a marketer for marketing. How many times I tell you that? How many times I tell you say Dr. Death is a marketer by profession. Him have a DBA in marketing. What the hell him doing as health minister? Why is he a health minister? It's like Andrew Field say, the doctor means say him is a medical doctor. No, Andrew, him is not a medical doctor. You can't fault a marketer for marketing, but when patients and healthcare workers are forced to jump over raw sewage to attend ribbon cutting ceremony for refurbishing of hospital. I'm not supposed to laugh, comrades. I'm not supposed to laugh, but it's funny. Jump over raw sewage to attend ribbon cutting ceremony for refurbished hospital bathroom. It is evident that the issue is not funding, but in the government's misplaced priorities. The government misplaced priorities. The sectoral debate has solidified in the hearts and minds of Jamaicans that this administration is using relentless spin doctoring to convince the people that their lives are improving. How much time we talk about that? They are gaslighting us to believe that we're better when we're obviously worse. Exactly, Linton. It's funny. Just like the standpipe ribbon cutting. Them cut ribbon for everything. It's the weirdest thing. However, the harsh reality is that Jamaicans are getting sicker and pregnant women and babies are facing higher mortality rates compared to 25 years ago. Despite massive expenditures over the last few years, there has been no tangible improvement in the quality of care because of a lack of focus on what truly matters in preventing and mitigating the impact of chronic disease. In their disregard for critical health indicators, it is evident that the minister and his advisors are out of touch and are sacrificing the lives, health, and well-being of thousands of Jamaicans if they continue to ignore the vital health metrics that truly matter while marketing to Jamaicans to know their numbers. Argument done. What do you think about that, comrades? On the top up the screen and share up the live, because we not done talk yet. Right? We not done talk. But we have to get Dr. Dawes over here. We're going to have to go get him over here, because we have to discuss these things with him. We have to discuss this with him, comrades. Because as I was saying to you before, you know, I have a friend that called me today. She had her baby on the 26th of April, and she lost that baby. But when she described to me how the baby passed, it sounded so odd, because it sounded so basic that, I mean, this poor child did not have to die. The poor baby did not have to die. And you know, it's because of a lack of resources, a lack of so many things. Yeah man, PNP time now. We have to get rid of them labor right here. I'm tired of them. Me, tired of them. Tired of them. Bad, bad, bad. Yes, I'm going to take down something again. You know, comrades, I have started a new session where we talk about our nightly sermon. And I want to bring up the nightly sermon now for you, so you can see it. I'm going to take myself out. I know they don't like the thing there, but wait a second. There we go. All right. That is I soon change it back so I can. This thing, I prefer it that way, so I can read it at least I can read it little. All right, so we're going to talk about the nightly sermon now, especially since I know that you enjoyed Comrade ASSAMBA's talk. Let us talk about the nightly sermon. It's time for the nightly sermon. Let me just find it on my phone so I can read it for you. Alright, so this is the nightly sermon now from the book of the Ripe Mango. And we're at chapter 1, verse 4. We believe in restoring power to the people. Now listen to me carefully, you know. We believe in restoring power to the people. For only with true people power can Jamaica truly become a place to live and raise our family. It's all about people power, comrades. It is all about people power. Do you know what people power is? And I want you to type it in the comments, both on YouTube and on TikTok. What is people power to you? Let me read it again. We believe in restoring power to the people, for only with true people power can Jamaica truly become a place to live and raise our families. And again, I'm going to ask you, what is people power? Mams is saying our voice been heard. People should have a voice, that is it. But we want to go further than just a voice being heard. Right? Just about it's more than freedom of speech. When people stand up for your right, that is good. But what about when people come together, collectively work together? What do you think about that? Do you think that has anything to do with people power? When the people of a certain country come to, that is it, Nigel, come together to service the people, come together, work together to achieve more. Thank you, Fitzroy. Yeah, man, we have to, Fitzroy, we have to. freedom to live, freedom to raise family, but also, let me tell you something. People power means the people working together, the collective, the power to the people. Our right to self-determination. Right? It's now what time? 10 o'clock. Me I go open up the box now. Come soon, I'm trying to come in the box. Accept. Anybody who want to come in can come in now. Right? We're going to open up the box now. So anybody who want to come in, come. I'm waiting for Andrea to come up because we want to discuss this. We want to discuss this. The people united for a common cause, according to Zenique. That is a good definition. Taking those we have appointed to task in their duties. Yes, because we're going to put them to work for us. The thing about it is we have to get them to work for us. Welcome Twitch. Welcome Andre. When you come talk to me, Andrea. What's up? Talk to me, Andrea. What do you think people power is? Don't stay out of the discussion, YouTube. Type in the comments what you think people power is. Come on, Andrea and Twitch. Let me know. Welcome to Fitzroy as well. I was hoping that Andrea was gonna say something, but she's not saying anything as yet. She came out. She's out the box. I'm not hearing you clearly, Twitch. A little better. No, so I not hear you. I wonder if it's my volume low. I not hear you at all. Fitzroy say something. Make Fitzroy say something. Let me see if I can. Yes, you sound better. Yeah, man, take it out. Take it out, because we not hear you. Oh, okay. You sound a little better. Yeah, me not hear you. Twitch, sort out your volume. You're very low. You're low. Fitzroy say something, make me hear you.
People power simply is government for the people.
Government for the people, by the people. Nice. Loud and clear. I hearing you loud and clear.
Concession of the people, what the people want, because they are really there to serve us, so they must act in our best interest.
That is it. That is it. So how do we get the people to do what they're supposed to do? How do we work together as a collective to get the people to serve who we elect to serve us? Because that is what people power is, you know. Zenique is saying people united for a common cause. That is true. But how do we get the people to work together, the people we elect to do what we want them to do?
Accountability.
That is it.
Irrespective of who they are. So even though I'm a comrade, I should hold my MP, my councillors, my comrade leader accountable, have the discussions and say, hey, this is what I want, what is happening here. But what you find in Jamaica for the most part, this is a fundamental point, let us stretch it a little further.
Right.
Where you find elections, the minority, very few persons vote. So what is happening is that it's like the bigger guys, the conglomerates, they will find a way creativity to have persons by the less educated or informed persons. They will vote and then have other persons think to say, okay, after 2 minutes, I'm gonna vote.
Yes.
When you stay on one side and say you now vote, what you're doing, you are not dedicated, not informed about the issues, don't really care about whether the country is run properly, only because they can get a little 5 to 0 a year.
That is right.
Manipulated
Amen.
And then you hold them accountable. So what you want, not only for us who are comrades, but what you want is Jamaica overall to be so energized, so informed, so abreast that we need a leader. Irrespective of which side the country has to be governed. So we now need to determine of the two which is best. Look at the policies, look at the history, and hold them accountable.
Amen. That's right. That's basically what it is. We need to work together to hold the people we elect accountable. We need to put them to the wheel, put pressure on them to work for us. That is what power to the people is. Twitch, you want to try again now?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. A little. It's still low, but a little bit better.
Earlier today, we on the live was on the live, and we were talking about the young man at the UA campus
Uh-huh.
addressed him in regarding to the policy within the NIT um um whatever document that the contract
Which young one is that?
he is a student at UWI, and
Mm-hmm.
they had like a Q&A,
Okay.
and he came up and stand up to ask to address him in regarding the NIT and certain policies that was within the within that law to pass for them
Mm-hmm.
to get the ID. And he addressed the situation about him not able to get his NHT if he didn't have the NIT, and so
So it was about the needs.
yes, so he wanted him to address it. But the fact that he stand up
Oh,
use
Richard is saying that it was, okay, so that same Daniel, what's his name again? Isabel Esther, it was a few years ago in a Twitch. It wasn't recently. Mm-hmm.
I know. So it wasn't recently, but I've never seen it. That's the whole thing. That's why YouTube is so important.
Yes.
I never seen it, and many people never seen it, and we replayed it today on Smart Lab. But what my point to say that is the aggressiveness and the approach that he got as a student, and even the student that stand up after him that addressed the Prime Minister, asked the Prime
Mm-hmm.
Minister to apologize
Ask him to
to
apologize.
him because
Yes,
the manner in which he spoke to the young
I
man
remember that.
and the demeanor is as if he's trying to shut him down,
That's right.
shut down his voice, just
Mm-hmm.
because
Boy
he
him up.
is holding him accountable
That's
to
right.
the
He
law
does not
and what the
expect to be
law
held
says.
accountable. That's the bottom line. He does not expect to be held accountable. That is what this is telling me. That the Prime Minister does not expect that ordinary Jamaican people should hold him accountable. That's basically what it boiled down to.
So what in my point of view, as I said earlier today, and I say say it again. I have never seen any other country other than the stronghold
Right.
dictatorship, what countries those are. And I've never seen outside of those countries where you go inside a university to do a study. Because many countries have political studies within the universities, and the politicians and the heads of government go inside these universities and do these Q&As. I've never seen it like this ever. So I'm glad that I was able to see this video
Yeah, man, I
and
think it was probably about 5 years ago or more. It was before, definitely before COVID.
yeah, so I said this shows a lot about his leadership skills.
Yeah, he's a
He has
narcissist.
minor leadership skills when it comes on to certain things.
Kamla, we need to read back
Not
the court case from the
a great
by-election where
leader.
Wholeness Oh, we did that. Yes, yes, comrade. We need to go there again.
That's not a leadership skill for Prime Minister.
No, he was never a leader, you know. He was the Prime Minister, believe me. He was never a leader, never exhibit leadership skills. No, sir, he's a narcissist. He's a malignant narcissist, and that is the truth. No, it wasn't last year. It was before 2020. It was before the 2020 election. It was before COVID. It was probably about 2018. It was before PNP carried the government to court about NIDS. Remember, so we carried them go court about NIDS and win the case and them lose. Yeah, man, it was about 4 years ago. Thank you, Twitch. But Siaga did tell him that he cannot lead. Yeah, but he seems to believe that he can lead. Him not listen. Him not listening, no. Him not listen. Anybody else want to come up in the box and join the conversation? We're running the box until 10:30. Not gonna be a late night for more. No, me love my bed, no, comrades. It was the bad needs. Yes, it was the first time when PNP, Julian Robinson. Remember, I said we had Comrade Robinson on the program, comrades, and he told us about it, you know. You understand? But now that Twitch bring up this thing with university, his ego. It is his ego. You're right. What a lala with the university abroad now, New York consulate, where them, I'm sure most of you would have seen the viral release where they're saying there's problems in the US at the consulate in New York, and the not ambassador, what's she name, the consul general is putting UE out of the building. Them lose them room, so to speak. Make I find that and read it for you, because I know I have it from yesterday. I'm gonna find it for you and read it, because it was all over the place.
Yeah, they were evicted.
Yes, they were evicted. There you go. They were evicted from them room. This is not it. I'm gonna find that story from you. It's been circulating for a few days now.
Because the narcissistic, egotistic man did not get a doctorate, was he the
Yes, they said that Andrew Holness want a honorary doctorate from UA and UA won't give it to him. That's what I'm hearing, that the man want him honorary doctorate and nobody not pay him no mind with no honorary doctorate. So as a result, him holding hard in. And the consul general in New York, I think that Dre discussed it this morning. Cause I think Dre did have up her face. Is that so? Am I right?
We discussed it on Smile. Dre went over it.
Okay, you discussed it on Smile. May I look for it, but me can't find it. I'm looking for it. I know I have it. I received it so many times, but me not see it. I'm not seeing it in my pictures. But the gist of it, comrades, again, is that Andrew Holness is trying to get an honorary doctorate. I guess he want to follow back at Auntie Dana with an honorary doctorate thing. So he believes if him get an honorary doctor, Jamaican people will take him more serious. That is what it boils down to, you know, because an honorary doctorate is not really a doctorate. It's just a play doctor. It's just something, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what is the importance of an honorary doctorate, to tell you the truth. You understand? I don't know what is the importance of it. But Andrew Holness is fighting for one. Him a big degree. And the thing about it is, I think they have now approached the University of Delaware, because the University of the West Indies said they're not giving it to him. So this is where the conflict starts. Oh, I see what you're talking about. You take student tells Andrew Holness to apologize for disrespect. I see what you were talking about. But yeah, man, so the general gist of the conversation is that they are victimizing Huey because Huey doesn't want to give him the degree. Acknowledgement him looking for. No, you tell me. You tell me. Anyway, that is how it is. It's Andrew Holness. Nothing should surprise us where Andrew is concerned, right? Anybody else want to come up in the box? Nobody know that university, that comrade, that university is one where sell honorary doctorate. You can buy your honorary doctorate, you know, like Auntie Donna. Somebody buy honorary doctorate and give Auntie Donna. Make I read it for you if you think I'm lying. Somebody buy a doctor. You can buy these things. You can actually buy these things. And them give you a whole organism, one whole pretty words and all sort of something. Yeah man, you can buy it. Wow. You want your charger? See your charger here. Goodbye. You need to go to your bed. You have school in the morning.
What time is it?
Somebody else come. It is now 10:09. It's almost 10:30. Somebody else coming in. Comrades on the light, my phone. See me get the phone and me get the F. Rado Radcliffe, what is up? Welcome, welcome. I see Rado coming in.
Yes, I'm not good.
What go on?
Another comrades, all the door.
Well, good. How are you?
Yes, I'm not too bad at all. Yes, I was sort of listening this morning, and Dre was discussing the UE thing that abroad.
Yes.
Well, you discussed it this morning. Yeah, but I didn't even get the full understanding of
Yeah, man. I read it, you know. It's just that I can't find it. I like to read things for you so that you can hear it for yourself. But I'm just not seeing it in my messages. I had to do a lot of phone on the nose, the story with my old phone. But me get the new F now, so I don't have to go through all of them something there again.
I know.
Yes, so I probably deleted it to create space.
And read the honorary doctorate thing.
Yes.
So suppose for argument's sake, suppose I want an honorary doctorate. I can go to the university and buy it too, or somebody will have to buy it?
Yes, man. I think people can buy it for you, or you can remember say you can get somebody to buy it for you. You know, the something is that technically is not you supposed to buy it for yourself.
Yes.
But you, I mean, if you want it, somebody can nominate you. Them nominate you and then pay for it. So you can beg somebody nominate you and give them the money, make them buy it for you. Which was the case with Auntie Donna. I don't know if she did beg the person, but somebody nominate her. Yeah, man. Yes, Miss Overcomer, send it to me. She got an honorary doctorate about 2-3 months ago.
Okay, wonderful.
No, definitely not all university. These are what? These are not. These J-Tom, these are not. What you call them now? I don't even consider these legitimate universities, to tell you the truth. Diploma mill, that is it, comrade for life. These are what you call the diploma mills. These are not regulated, accredited universities. These are just university where collect money to just, you don't really have to do no work to get the recognition.
You see the next thing?
Yeah, man, you can't do that, Papi Star. You can't make them beg buy you something, but you have to go say, okay, why? Because some of them will ask you what you do. Boy, you can't say, boy, you did feed 2 homeless children and you did do them something there, you know? I saw it work. So that is why Andrew now I try to get fame on.
I see. Look at that. Him love
That
honor,
is
you see.
it.
You realize him love honor, but he love-
Yes, man, him love recognition and honor.
Yes.
That is what him love. Him love to pump. Him love the pump and posture. Full of himself.
Yes, sir. And the next thing to you, Kamala, I was listening thoroughly to the interview with former MP, former tourism minister,
Yes.
ASSAMBA.
A nice interview.
It was a brilliant interview, and I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. Totally. And I was hoping that she would stay so that we could maybe ask her some questions. But,
The thing about it, with her now, you have to do it because of You have to give her some time. And she said she suffer from long COVID, and you know, so it's better. Yeah, next time we keep her on for longer, and then we can question her.
Right. That's okay still, we satisfied.
Cause we not gonna keep her up all way. You see, when I turn me, when you don't realize that when I turn me in a night owl. Them time you normally me I draw second gear in my sleep, Cause me love my bed.
I saw you got Kamala, you have to learn to adjust.
Yes, me adjusting because it's party time now. It's time for the PNP. So it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice I have to make for my party. Cause normally at this time me in my bed will wrap up comfortable. Yeah man, Miss Over come and send me the private message. Send it to me. Send it to me. But yeah man, comrades, it was really a good interview. Excuse me. As I said to you, Dr. Roger Hunter, I'm going to get him on because a lot of you were very interested in the conversation last night. A lot of you, through no fault of your own, had to take the people them things, the people them jokes, and so he has a lot of information on how to assist some of you. So I had a long conversation with him today. Randine, Dre not on the live, but I had a long conversation with him. I promised you last night that I would reach out to him, and I did. And he was so excited because he's one of those who, like myself, was basically what you call it now, cancelled. Him say them cancel culture him. Comrade for life, that's a very good idea, and I'm going to ask Comrade Juno to come on the program. I want to ask two, Comrade KD and Comrade John Juno. I'm gonna invite the two of them to come on the show different times.
Right.
Because I realize that what we're trying to do is I want you comrades to get the overall picture of the 90s and the 2000s, the 18 years. We want to be able to put the 18 years in context so you understand. I hope you realize that Ed Bartlett, ALOUN ASSAMBA, Portia Simpson Miller, hi Link, how are you? Make Edmund Bartlett who we missed today. Because he's living off of the PNP.
Yeah man, he's riding off the box.
Him riding off of all the hotels that was constructed when both Comrade Simpson Miller and Comrade ASSAMBA were ministers of tourism in their time. He's benefiting from all of this, all of the arrangements we make with these hotels to come and build up.
Exactly.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is at least have 2 guests per week, sometimes 3. If I'm gonna normally I try to do Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday, depending on when I'm on. But if I can get somebody who to come on like Dr. Hunter and discuss a non-political issue, I'm gonna do that because you asked. So the Prime Minister bad up you if you give him honorary doctor. Yes, rough edges that we're talking about. If the student them, can you imagine you ever hear nothing so? What a set of drunk crow. That's why I say labor rights come in like, I don't know. Labor rights are a different breed of people. They're not human. Them different man. Yes, Poppy Star, we drafted the blueprint for tourism. And now Edmund Bartlett is reaping the rewards. And when him go out, them going to make it look like, oh, he is such this brilliant minister. But him don't have to work, Him don't have to do much because PNP do all the heavy lifting again already. The PNP did all the heavy lifting. So really and truly, Ed Bartlett not really have no complication. You understand?
That's true.
Yes, somebody is saying at least him keep it up. You're right, J. Toms. Him keep it up, him could have do like the rest of them. Him could have do like Tufton and mash up everything. But what I think with Tufton, comrades, Tufton have the audacity though. Something wrong with that man, That man there is a living, breathing demon. Link, I think the Auditor General says that she will be doing that soon. I know she mentioned Ministry of environment and them something there, as well as tourism. So I think she going in them soon. So what you saying, Twitch? Oh no, I didn't see it. Miss Overcomer, I will check soon.
TikTok. I was on TikTok one night, and this young lady was typing a comment that she needed help.
Okay.
And she had a preemie, and the preemie was very sick.
Yes.
Anyway, I reached out to her, and through phone contact, I started keeping in touch with her, encouraging her, and stuff like that. She called me like 1 o'clock in the middle of the morning, and she said the hospital called. She has to go to the hospital because the baby, his heart is failing.
Was that 2 weeks ago?
No, this is a couple months ago. This is in last year.
Oh, last year. So this is another one. So this is another one because this just happened to my friend, as me say. My sister, my daughter birthday we gone the other days. That day the baby born. So this is another case.
Yes, that's why I was typing this. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. She called me, and I was on the phone just encouraging her as she was going to the hospital. You know, praying with her, and I called some churches in Jamaica because they was on live, and that's how I met.
Thank you, Unfriendly. Thank you. Wanna join Unfriendly and get the likes up to 60K, please, people. Let's get the likes up. Thank you. Go on talk Twitch.
We started praying with her, encouraging her as she was getting ready to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But this is my main point of saying this. This preemie passed away because for a few days, Spanish Hospital was not able to get blood to do a blood transfusion.
Yeah. A lot of that happened.
Just for blood. I could have cried. I'm like, yo, I wish I could just send it through the phone or something. I'm like,
You see, when you don't have these cases, you know, you must reach out. Like when you don't have people who need blood, baby, it no matter. Cause we will go give blood.
the funniest thing is, Kamala, remember, this was not political, right?
It no matter.
I was not advocating for anything. I was with a church.
Yeah.
Right. That was on TikTok, right? And this hurt me. So
Okay,
bad.
comrade, I will check.
I'm not even gonna even go deep into it. Just, off the air, I'll tell you more about it. But I was in a church.
Yeah.
And this is how I met her on TikTok.
Okay.
In a church life. And she
Oh.
commented this in the comments. And I reached out to her through the DMs, and I started communicating with her by phone.
Yeah.
And she called me 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm saying to myself, you know how far I am?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man,
Boy. Let me tell you something. Life in Jamaica is hard. You hear, Twitch? Life in Jamaica is hard. It's not easy. And a lot of people here suffering. There are a lot of sufferers here. And that is what people don't realize. There's a lot of sufferation happening here in Jamaica. You know. Yes, Rado.
Expression done it to say that it's difficult. Life in Jamaica is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And all the fittest of the fittest will survive in this country.
Exactly. Exactly. You are so right. Unfriendly. Unfriendly coming up. What going Unfriendly?
Unfriendly, can you hear us? Yes.
That was a mistake.
You never want to come up into the box.
I was tapping the screen.
Oh, you were tapping the... Well, you're here, so hi, my darling. Hey,
I'm here
Tatlin.
in the comment section.
Yeah, man, Missy say you work for you work with me. You try to get me up to
60K.
yes, yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Yeah, man, and then tap it up for me. Tap it up and get it up so we can get up there. We're getting there, though. We soon reach.
Let me tell you, see that situation, it hurts
Yes.
But I'm telling you, it pulled me back away from TikTok for a while.
I can only imagine.
Alright, you right now just you know come.
I will see
Yeah, reach it
I
now.
will see my TikTok app and I just did not go on there. Or if
Why?
I go
I can only imagine.
certain things or business wise, I'll go on there. But I just avoid certain things. I mean, that
Yeah, it
hurts
must be
me
disconcerting.
about going and getting involved in the comments and getting involved certain way. On a personal level, I avoided for nearly a year.
Yeah.
A few months after that, I felt like, I felt hopeless and it wasn't me. And even till now, I still reach out to her.
Yeah.
So her for her well-being now because the baby has already passed.
Yeah, the baby already passed.
Past that.
Well, that's a
They
good thing.
said
It is a
that
good thing, Twitch.
in order for them to do a proper autopsy, in order for her to get the baby, for her to bury her own baby, she has to pay for the autopsy.
That is foolishness.
And then they're saying if they do the autopsy, they have to bury the baby.
That is foolish. You see, you know why them doing it now. You know why they're doing this though. Tell me why. Tough tan. Tough tan. Tough tan.
It's a business thing.
Yes, man, it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
Tough tan. Miss Overcomer, talk to me.
Yeah, night.
Night.
I just want to explain what lady is saying, Twitch.
Yes.
First, I'm not feeling like, but on this past year,
Thank you.
I've been following a long time now. The
Uh-huh.
problem is what the lady is saying, guys. I'm a woman of God. I'm not calling myself Christian, because Christian people are wicked people.
Oh boy.
That doesn't sound good at all. Miss Overcome.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, man, go and talk. We're hearing you.
Mommy, I tell you, you have Christian, you have people who saved. Christian people are wicked people. You have people who are saved, who genuinely, just like how she's talking. She said she's way in America, they got to call her.
Yeah.
The lady up Jamaica that is our the on the live, they are Christian. I can tell you something. This some of these churches, this company TikTok, it's all about money.
Yeah.
Alright. Bless me. And you pray for me, right? God give
Yeah.
me this, and you pray for me and bless me. They have come back and say, oh, me pray for Kamala, and she promised she'll give me one money, she pray, come give me.
Oh, so them selling prayers.
Exactly.
Okay.
God bless the people, and let me tell you something. You see, now I'm telling you something about the people, we think, or we believe. Bible says one father the man said that who endureth you.
Yeah.
You see, all the people they say are going to read the people and give them things you're not supposed to do.
Exactly. There's nothing I disagree with as much as that.
Radine, if you want to call yourself a Christian, that's fine. I am saved. I am a child of God.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a child of God. Same with him. But when they say the Christian people are wicked, so
Let me tell you, they have
because
a
everybody's
rule.
doing the same
What I'm
thing.
saying,
Yeah.
That's all of them what I'm saying. Christianity is for people that are saved.
Yeah.
You know, understand it?
I understand what you're saying. You're saying the people them who jump up and exalt themselves as
I
Christian.
have a supervisor that says she's a Christian, and the supervisor give me. You know what the woman tell me the other day? She said to me, say, if she want, because I asked her a question about my discrepancy and whatever. And she said to me, if me want to follow her, lower standard. Lower standard for me. But I got asked her what she mean by lower standard for me. She was very glad she's a Christian. She puffed up. Christian is supposed to be puffed up.
Yeah, that is true. But then you have to remember, say, just like how you have false prophets, you have false followers.
That is it.
Exactly, but I'm saying Christians.
Christ-like.
Christians are fun and some of them is on TikTok. People that are saved, Christ-like.
I understand what you say.
You understand what I'm saying?
But
We have some
overcome.
Christians come and then what they do, they judge other people. Judge them,
But the
what they
Bible says,
wear, because this sister should never be, when this sister talk, call it, let me finish, sir. You're not understanding me. You're taking offense. That is the same thing I'm telling you. Because if you were saved, you will be taking offense to what I'm saying to you. You'll be understand what I'm saying. Person that are saved, really
right, we're kind of going off topic now, overcomer. We're going way off topic because we really not talk about.
We know Kamla, but what I'm trying to say, Chris, I'm just saying that we need to come together as a people, as a black nation, all over the diaspora and help. If you notice the other people, other colors help each other more than how we as black people help each other. Even with evil, with something where you talk about the politics and all these things. This is it. We don't come together as a people. We just believe like say, oh, give $5,000 so you're gonna go to the person. We don't sit down and we think. We don't think. We don't think for ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? I think about the money where they might give you just sit one day and it can't do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? We just need to come together as a people. You know, help each other and see the place for being better. Even Jamaica, come together as a people. You understand?
Yeah.
And it would have started work from time because all these politicians they know doing this and who is not doing that. And the police them know too.
Yeah.
I grew up on the road in Southside Kingston, so I can tell you, I born and grown, I see only for things.
Understood.
I still live at Tower Fit and Rosemary in Corner.
All right. Thanks for your contribution. All right. All right, comrades. I think that is it, you know. Because I tell you, so we're going to stop at 10:30. I want to go to bed early. We're going way past the time now. So what we are going to do now,
Have a blessed night.
yeah man, you too. I don't know if Dre going to come on, but they can listen out for him. We're going to play the trumpet.
The trumpet has sounded, my countrymen all, so awake from your slumbers and answer the call. The torch has been lighted, the dawn is at hand. Who joins in the fight for his own native land? Land of my birth, I pledge to thee, loyal and faithful to
Good night, comrades. Take care of yourself. Comrades on YouTube, comrades on TikTok. We talk to remember I'm not on tomorrow. We go coming back again on Friday. All right. Remember, if you're not following my platforms, make sure you follow. If you on TikTok, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You on YouTube, please follow me on TikTok, vice versa. Remember, I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. All right. So that is it for the night. Enjoy yourself. So now.